Namaste children, welcome to your 7th standard social science. Today we are going to see next lesson in history. Children, let me recall what we have learnt in the previous lesson. In the second lesson, the emergence of new kingdoms in North India, we have learnt about many rulers, the Rajput rulers who were ruling in the northern part of the India, and one is said to be Prithviraj Chauhan. So, this Prithviraj Chauhan and Muhammad Ghori fought between themselves, and two wars took place. One is said to be the first battle of Tarain 1191 and the second battle of Tarain in 1192. In the first battle of Tarain, what happened, children? Yes, in the first battle of Tarain, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori. And what happened in the second battle? In the second battle, Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated by Muhammad Ghori. So, thus the Turkish rulers are able to establish the empire in India. So, today we are going to see about the Delhi Sultanate. So, our fourth lesson, lesson 4 in history, the title is Delhi Sultanate. How the people, the Turkish people able to establish their empire in India. So, when we take this Delhi Sultanate, the Turkish horsemen pillaged the northern part of the India and they are able to succeed. So, how this success came to them, we can list out some of the reasons. The first reason is there is no unity among the Indian rulers. The Indians, they were fighting among themselves for small reasons. So, this disunity is led to the success of the Turkish people. And the second one is the advent of the Islam religion was successful during the early period. And the third one is the Muslims had a superior army, the Indians are not able to withstand their army, and failure of the Indians to defend themselves. So, these are the reasons which made the Turkish people to establish their empire firmly in India. So, today we are going to see about the 5 important Delhi Sultanate. They are said to be the slave dynasty, Khalji dynasty, or it can also be called as Khilji dynasty, and third one is Tughlaq dynasty, and fourth one is Sayyid dynasty, and fifth one is said to be the Lodi dynasty. So, 5 dynasties we are going to see, and who are the important persons who ruled over these dynasties. Okay. So, first, so after the defeat of Prithviraj Chauhan, and Prithviraj Chauhan was killed in the battle. So, during that time the Muhammad Ghori left the places that he captured in India under one of his slave called Qutbuddin. During those days the Turkish men nurtured the slaves, they are called by the name Bandagan. So, before leaving from our country, Muhammad Ghori left the territories under the control of one of the Bandagan or slave called as Qutbuddin. Okay. So, this Qutbuddin Aibak was taking care of the entire Turkish empire in India. So, when this Muhammad Ghori died in the year 1206, automatically Qutbuddin Aibak declared himself as the ruler. Qutbuddin Aibak declared himself as the ruler of the Turkish empire in India, and he started the dynasty called as slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty. Okay. So, Qutbuddin Aibak ruled from 1206 to 1210, that means 4 years he ruled the India. So, he began his rule by having Lahore as his capital, and slowly he shifted his capital from Lahore to New Delhi. So, Qutbuddin Aibak, even though he started in the northwestern part of the India, slowly he shifted the capital to the Delhi. He conquered many territories in the Indo-Gangetic plain, and his military campaign in North India is said to be very impressive. So, the Quwwatul Islam Masjid was built by him, which is said to be one of the oldest masjid in India. And apart from that, he also laid the foundation of Qutub Minar, which is not completed by him, and after son-in-law only completed the Qutub Minar. And he died in the year 1210. Within 4 years he died when he accidentally fall from the horse while playing the polo game. Okay. So, after Qutbuddin Aibak, Qutbuddin Aibak's son is said to be Aram Shah, who is said to be an incapable ruler. So, the Turkish nobles selected his son-in-law Iltutmish to be the next ruler of this slave dynasty. This Iltutmish is also said to be the army commander-in-chief of Aibak. So, they felt Iltutmish as the right person and he was selected as the next successor after Qutbuddin Aibak for the slave dynasty. He firmly established his empire and also controlled the rebellion in the northern part of the India. During his time, the Mongols, who is said to be belonging to the Mongolians, that is near the China region, they posted threat to the Iltutmish. Okay, so for that he organized an army of 40. He selected 40 nobles who are capable to withstand the Mongols. They are called by name as Chehal Gani, or 40 are said to be created by Iltutmish to counter-attack the Mongols, and he also built fort to protect himself from the Mongolian attack. And Iltutmish granted iktas to the army persons. Iktas is said to be the land. Iktas means land. The land was gifted to the army persons. The purpose behind it means the military persons have to collect the revenue from the land, and from that revenue they maintained their military horses. Okay, so the main job of this military person, they are called as iktadar. So the main job is to help out the sultan in the battle. So whenever he is in need of army, this iktadar have to supply horses to the sultan. So that is the main job of this iktadar, and they will collect revenue from the land to maintain the troops and horses. He completed the construction of the Qutub Minar, which was left by Qutbuddin Aibak. So this is said to be the story of Iltutmish. So after Iltutmish, so he nearly ruled from 10 to 36, means nearly 26 years he ruled over as a ruler of Delhi Sultanate, and after it was followed by his daughter Razia Sultan, who is said to be a very capable and brave Sultanate of Delhi. Okay, actually the Turkish nobles did not like her. The main reason is she favored the non-Turkish nobles also, and moreover she also appointed an Ethiopian slave by the name Jalaluddin Yaqut as his personal assistant. Because of this, the Turkish nobles did not like her, and she believed him, and she referred all the matters only to the personal attendant. And moreover, during this time the Mongols posed threat to Razia Sultan. She was ruled only for 4 years. She was conspired by the Turkish nobles and she was killed, Razia Sultan. So after Razia Sultan, 3 rulers ruled over the slave dynasty. They are said to be very weak and incompetent. So after Razia Sultan, Ghiyasuddin Balban, you can see the years difference. So in between we have got 3 incompetent rulers. They did not contribute much to the slave dynasty. Now comes the Ghiyasuddin Balban. This Ghiyasuddin Balban, first he abolished the Fati, which was started by Iltutmish. Chehal Gani was abolished by this Ghiyasuddin Balban. Instead, he has started a department of spies. The plural form is spies. Okay. So the department of spies, ஒற்றர்கள் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, so spy. So these spies collected information from various part of his kingdom and they kept him updated regarding any measures that is taken against him. However, he took care to maintain a cordial relationship with the same Genghis Khan, and he also obtained assurance from the Genghis Khan that their army will not cross the border of river Sutlej. He constructed strong forts to protect himself from the Genghis Khan army too. He patronized the famous poet Amir Khusro, who belongs to his period, Ghiyasuddin Balban's period. Ghiyasuddin Balban was succeeded by his son Kaikubad. Ghiyasuddin Balban was succeeded by his son Kaikubad, who is said to be a very weak and incompetent ruler. So Ghiyasuddin was supported by Malik Jalaluddin Khalji, who is said to be the army commander of the slave dynasty. So this Jalaluddin Khalji, within 3 years of his succession, he killed Kaikubad treacherously and he started a new dynasty called Khalji dynasty. Okay, so from 1287 Balban died. So from 1287 to 90 Kaikubad was in the throne. So from 1290 this Kaikubad was killed by this Jalaluddin Khalji and Khalji dynasty was started. Okay, so Jalaluddin Khalji. The next dynasty is Jalaluddin Khalji. He led the military campaigns during his reign under the leadership of the governor Alauddin, who is said to be his nephew. So Jalaluddin Khalji led many military expeditions to expand his empire. So the governor of Kara, who is also said to be the nephew, he is called by the name Alauddin Khalji. So one such expedition is said to be against the Deccan kingdom, Devagiri. The ruler is said to be Yadava king Ramachandra. In that battle, Alauddin Khalji killed the Yadava king and he looted the city and he came with large richness like rich gold, silver and jewels. He returned to his place and in due course of time, this Alauddin Khalji, with the wealth that he had gained from the Yadava kingdom, he killed Jalaluddin Khalji, who is said to be the uncle, and he declared himself as the Alauddin Khalji. Clear, children? Are you able to follow? So first Kaikubad was killed by Jalaluddin Khalji and he started the Khalji dynasty. This Jalaluddin Khalji was killed by his nephew, who is said to be the uncle Jalaluddin Khalji. He killed him treacherously and he declared himself as the next Sultan of Delhi. So next we will see about this Alauddin Khalji. So first Alauddin Khalji wanted to consolidate the empire, Delhi Sultanate empire. He wanted to extend his empire. He made the northern frontiers safe. First he concentrated on the Mongols where they are coming and attacking continuously. So he made the northern frontiers safe and secure for him. And afterwards he started to concentrate towards the southern side. The Yadavas of Devagiri, the Kakatiyas of Warangal, the Hoysalas of Dwara Samudra and Pandyas of Madurai accepted him as a superior king. And his political and administrative reforms are very impressive. And he undertook the survey of the land and he also fixed the standard revenue from the land. And his military officers were appointed to collect the revenue from the land. So a standard income was coming to him through the agriculture. Spies were employed at different levels and they were reported directly to the king. So he are able to collect information about his kingdom and happenings. Whatever that happens in the kingdom will come to his knowledge because so many spies were appointed by him in the different parts of the kingdom. He died in 1316. So after Alauddin Khalji, his successors were very weak. Nobody is there to make that empire a strong one. So automatically the Tughlaq dynasty came into effect. Okay. So the power was seized by the Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and he started the Tughlaq dynasty and Tughlaq dynasty came into force. Just see children, the year is 1296 to 1360. So within 4 years the weak rulers were there, they are incompetent. So automatically Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, one of the commander who seized the power from the last ruler and he started the Tughlaq dynasty 1320 to 1414. So Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq 1320 to 24, he lasted only for 4 years. So Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, he consolidated, so because 4 years difference is there, no? So he first consolidated the empire, northern part of the India. He sent his son. So, his son is said to be Juna Khan. Okay, Juna Khan and Muhammad bin Tughlaq are one and the same. So, after becoming next ruler, he changed his name from Juna Khan to Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So, he sent his son Juna Khan to have a war with the king of Prataparudra of Varangal. In that war, the Prataparudra was defeated by this Juna Khan and he returned to his empire with richness. So, he looted the city and with the gold, silver and jewels he returned back to the city. So, with that richness they are able to extend their empire and also they created a new city called Tughlaqabad. Is created only by with the richness that they collected from the Varangal empire. Then, but the this Juna Khan treacherously killed his father Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and he changed his name as Muhammad bin Tughlaq and he came to throne in the year 1325. Within 4 years, he killed his father and he ascended the throne in 1325. So, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. This Muhammad bin Tughlaq is said to be a learned man, but he is very cruel. Okay. So, during his time, he shifted his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. Just you see this map, children. So, this is the extent of this Tughlaq empire. Okay. The map of Tughlaq empire. You can see Delhi here. So, from Delhi, he shifted the capital city to Daulatabad. Okay. So, this is Daulatabad. Previously, it was called as Devagiri. So, from Delhi, he shifted his capital to Daulatabad, Devagiri. So, from here, during those time, the people have to walk and they have to reach this place. And it took 40 days for the people to reach from Delhi to Daulatabad. After reaching Daulatabad, the Juna Khan, that means that this Muhammad bin Tughlaq felt that he had made a wrong decision because the enemies can intrude in from the northern part of the India very easily. Is it not? Because the threat is all over in the northern part of the India, that too in the Punjab region. So, when he felt that his move was a wrong one, again he asked the people to move back from this Devagiri or Daulatabad again to Delhi. So, the people got frustrated because of this move. Ibn Battuta, who is said to be a Moroccan traveler who was with the king during that time, he mentions in his book that Delhi was very empty and abandoned. He did not even leave the blind people. When they hid behind the tree or somewhere, he hid them and he gave cruel punishment to the people. So, this brought so many chaos and confusions in his empire. Then he also increased the tax on the Doab region. He collected the revenue from the Doab region and the tax is also kept very high. And he also minted the gold and silver coins. When he found that gold and silver coins are inadequate, he started to circulate copper currency. So, when he started to circulate the copper currency, many duplications started to come in the copper currency. It has become the order of the day. So, his whole revenue system got corrupted. This Muhammad bin Tughlaq revenue system got corrupted and many business people stopped having a business with them. So, immediately he stopped the circulation of the copper currency. Again gold and silver came into circulation and many provinces and governors declared independent themselves during his period. They are the governors of Multan, Sindh, Devagiri and Madurai and Bengal declared independent of themselves and they started to rule independently during his time and he died in the year 1351. So, after the death of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Ghiyasuddin brother's son, his brother's son Firoz Shah Tughlaq came to throne. Okay, he was the next successor 1351 to 1388. He is a very kind man. Okay, not like this Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He is said to be a very kind man, and he followed some humanitarian measures. He rewarded the Sufis as well as other religious leaders, listened to their advices too, and he constructed many mosques and hospitals during his period. He also built colleges and helped and formed a trust and helped the many needy and poor Muslims. He banned the inhuman punishment and abolished the taxes. He developed the agriculture, the field of agriculture, by helping the agricultural people by waiving off their debts and constructing the canals. Laid out nearly 1200 gardens during his time, and he also restored 30 gardens that belongs to the Alauddin Khilji period. Timur's invasion, this is said to be one of the important thing. This Timur, just imagine 1398, after the death of Firoz Shah Tughlaq, nearly for 10 years Muhammad Khan ruled the Tughlaq dynasty. Okay, so 1398, within 10 years, the Timur of Samarkand, he belongs to Central Asia. He wanted to attack the India. So already he captured some of the places in northwestern part of the India. So this Timur started to invade India by knowing its weakness. So when he came through the Punjab, he attacked Delhi, looted the city Delhi, and then he also attacked the Punjab region. So Delhi and Punjab was firstly attacked by Timur. So while leaving India, he took all the wealth from India. Not only the wealth, he also took the carpenters, sculptures, masons to construct monuments at Samarkand. So while leaving from India, he left one person, Kisar Khan, as the governor to look after the territories that was captured by him. The Punjab, Meerut and Delhi are the territories captured by this Timur. So he left the governor Kisar Khan to take care of his territories. So this Kisar Khan laid the foundation for the Sayyid dynasty, the fourth dynasty of Delhi Sultanate. So this Kisar Khan, the Kisar Khan was followed by Alauddin Alam Shah, who is said to be the last ruler of the Sayyid dynasty. So in 1451, he abdicated the dynasty. So during this time, the Bahlul Lodi found it very easy for him, who is said to be the governor of Punjab, and he declared himself as the Sultan of Delhi, and thus the Lodi dynasty came into effect. So the fifth dynasty, which was there for from 1451 to 1526, Bahlul Lodi is the founder of this Lodi dynasty, who was previously said to be the governor of Punjab. Then Bahlul Lodi was followed by his son Sikandar Lodi. This Sikandar Lodi is said to be the great patron of arts and learning, and he only founded the city called Agra and made it as a capital city of his empire. He died in the year 1517, and after that his son Ibrahim Lodi came to throne. This Ibrahim Lodi was defeated by Babur, okay, who was Ibrahim Lodi and Babur. They fought in Panipat war, okay, you might have heard, it is said to be a famous war, Battle of Panipat. So in the 1526, the Delhi Sultanate rule came to an end, and Babur, who is said to be the first person who started the first ever Mughal empire in India. So after the Delhi Sultanate, the next empire that came to Delhi is said to be the Mughal empire under the leadership of Babur. So thus we came to the end of this session, children. So today we have learnt about Delhi Sultanate. This is said to be your fourth lesson in history, where we have seen about 5 important dynasties: Slave dynasty, Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid dynasty and Lodi dynasty. Okay. So this lesson is a very simple lesson only. Just take your textbook and read the lesson, children. It will be followed by an assignment and activity. See you with some other lesson children. Thank you children.